She calls it sharing, but Mrs. Stumper calls it going on, as in, you certainly do go on, Bibsy Cross. 4. Sometimes, Mrs. Stumper feels that Bibsy goes on a stone too far, like when she explains static electricity and how to use a balloon to make your hair stand on end. And then again when she says, another important word is voltage, because voltage is what causes currents. Because who wouldn't want to know about voltage? Well, apparently Mrs. Stumper, that's who. Bibsy, she says, I asked you 3 times to please stop talking, and you just plain didn't. I think that's a stone too far. And then she turns toward the great big corkboard apple tree, bright with construction paper apples, one for each kid, their names in big black letters, and she moves Bibsy's apple from its high sweet spot in the green leaves down to the bottom, sticking it to the brown dirt at the base of the tree with double-stick tape. Personally, Bibsy thinks that's a stone too far. 5. Each and every time Mrs. Stumper walks to the corkboard to drop Bibsy's apple to the ground, which happens more often than either of them likes, Bibsy sucks in a quick bit of air and rewinds her thoughts, wishing she could go backward, wishing Mrs. Stumper could see that she is just regular-pegular, wishing Mrs. Stumper liked her the way she liked other kids, the way she liked Mina, maybe, even if she does have a lot to say. For some people, of course, it is even worse. Some people, okay, mostly Marcus, have an actual hole punched in their apple nearly every week. Sometimes more than one hole. A hole means a worm has gotten to your apple. A hole means it's rotten. A hole means you've gone a stone too far a bunch of times in the same day. Marcus never seems to mind. He usually just laughs, which is what most people like about Marcus. But it is what drives Mrs. Stumper to distraction. That's what she says. You're driving me to absolute distraction, Marcus. And that's when everyone else, even Josh, who's also pretty distracting, tries very hard not to get a hole punched in their own apple. Maybe especially Bibsy. Bibsy worries about her apple, but she worries about Marcus's apple too. She sucks in a little breath of air for him, even though he doesn't seem to mind when Mrs. Stumper gets driven to distraction, when she drops his apple, when she makes a wormhole with the silver hole punch that sounds like a stapler. Bibsy sucks in a little breath of air for Marcus and his apple. She thinks, staplers are better than hole punches. They connect things. 6. There is no actual going backward, of course. But each morning, Bibsy's apple is rehung in the branches of the corkboard tree. So is Marcus's. So are all the other drop-down apples from the day before. When Mrs. Stumper rehangs them, when she tucks them back up among the bright green leaves, Bibsy's and the other bruised and holy ones right next to the ones like Mina's that never ever even wobble, Bibsy admires them all the same. Their round, red sweetness, their possibility and promise. And each Friday, she takes her apple from Mrs. Stumper in both hands like it is still something to be proud of. Never mind the days spent stuck in the dirt. Bibsy brushes it off, as if it were real dirt on a real apple, as if she could polish away the week before taking it home, before sharing it with her mom and dad. 7. At dinner, Bibsy and her mom and dad go around the table and share their good and not so good news. Sweet and sours, they call them. Sometimes Bibsy mentions Mrs. You-Know-Who, but not often.